What's going on, everybody, and welcome on into the Garage Beers Podcast, episode 260 of Garage Beers here on this beautiful, warm Tuesday in Northeast Ohio. And it is officially NFL Draft Weekend. So as you can see, it's crowded in the garage tonight as we are having a special Garage Beers NFL Draft OBR Cleveland Browns preview. And we're going to have a good time for the next little bit as we talk about the Browns in a little bit more of a laid back. We're going to fan out a little bit in this episode. We may even argue a little bit. We might get a little tense, a little emotional. So you better buckle up because we have got a great show coming at you. A little bit later in the show, we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA playoffs. They got off to a great start. We got the red hot Cleveland Guardians just won their series against the New York Yankees tonight. So much more later, but we're going to kick things off with the Cleveland Browns and the NFL Draft. Joining me as always here on the OBR Streaming Network, I'm Michael Keefe at Garage Beers. Mike, my co-host over on the east side of Cleveland. Find him online at Garage Beers. Chad, it's Chad Meyer. What's up, Chad?
Can you hear me fine?
Oh, we hear you great.
Great. Perfect. Hey, question. I'm relatively new to drinking coffee, guys. Does it make your pee stink?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm not
asparagus coffee or
well, yeah, asparagus is the only thing I've ever heard that makes your pee stink. I didn't know coffee did that. So I was like, oh, so I'm not dying then. All right, confirmed. Thank God. Thought I was thinking I had to go make a doctor's appointment.
We cannot confirm that you're not, but it may not be because of that.
Shit. Okay. All right. Duly noted.
Duly noted. Well, Chad, listen, man, this is awesome. We got a full house. Again, Joey will be back next week. He is currently in Missoula, Montana, as he is moving out to Seattle. So we're going to miss him for one more week, but he'll be back. But you see, we got a full house tonight. I threw it out there to the guys in the OBR Slack channel, and I said, listen, I want you guys to come in. I want you to cut loose, relax, have a drink if you want to. If you don't want to drink, that's fine too. But I want to talk about the Cleveland Browns, and I want to do it in a way that we can preview the OBR Draft Cave, which is coming this weekend for the NFL Draft. We have got wall-to-wall coverage, whether you watch us on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you watch us. We are going to be live for the entire draft all the way until the very last Browns pick, which we are all hoping that they trade so that we don't have to be live until the very last Browns pick. But we will be live all the way through, giving you wall-to-wall coverage, analysis, laughs, tears. Brad Ward's probably going to get real mad at a pick. Now that I know Jeff a little bit better, he's probably going to get real mad at a pick. And we're going to have all kinds of fun. So you don't want to miss it this entire weekend, the OBR Draft Cave. But joining to just kind of prepare for that and to just kind of give some final thoughts here on Garage Beers about what we want to do. And then maybe we'll get into one last mock draft with the fellas here. We have got some of our OBR fellow staff members, and we'd be remiss if we didn't lead things off with El Capitan, or as you see, the Web Dork, which doesn't sound, it maybe doesn't carry quite the gravitas, but you know, around here, Web Dork means big things. We got Barry McBride in here, the leader of the OBR. Barry, first time on Garage Beers, I think. This is awesome.
Yeah, I think it is. You guys have much better music than we do on OBR Weekly. I mean, your intro music, it just kicks butt compared to our intro music, but I got to hand it to you.
Well, we are OBR After Dark, and so we're allowed to say, we are allowed to say that our music is a little porny, if you will. Not that vibe.
It's got that, yeah. It's got that X-rated vibe. Yeah.
But like 70s. Not like, never mind. Go on.
Nobody wanted to look at the group of guys on the screen right now and hear the word X-rated at all. Bad news. Also joining us over across the pond. If Chad's on the east side of Cleveland, this guy is on the far east side of Cleveland. Over there in the middle of the night, just hanging out with us. It's Jack Duffin. What's up, Jack?
It's nothing better to do at 2 a.m. So here I am.
Yeah, right. Why would you sleep? Who needs it?
This is the week where I need to destroy my sleep pattern. So it's preseason training.
I love it. I love that. Also, one of our veteran OBR members just got done doing the React, which I know all of you guys were watching because it is one of the most popular shows out there, talking about the Cleveland Browns. But you know what? He was like, we did it for 2 hours. I'm not done. I'm going to come talk about the Cleveland Browns a little bit more. It's Brad Ward. What's up, Brad?
Yeah, sorry it was late. I was chugging water to inflate my weight so that I looked heavier than 100 and whatever
do it.
pounds.
Don't do it. Don't. Oh, look at Jeff's already starting to sweat. Don't do it. All right, so Brad's here, and lastly,
I thought you were still wrapping the react, Brad. I just thought.
Very funny. Very funny. I know we went long. I'm sorry. We always go long. I apologize.
hey, listen, I was very close to getting in the comments and yelling at you.
I know. I realized it, but sometimes you just got to get that last point in. I apologize.
I refrained. And lastly, in the garage tonight, making his first appearance on Garage Beers as well. He's a veteran Cleveland Browns voice, but one of our newer OBR members, Jeff Lloyd. Jeff, welcome on into the garage for the first time.
Well, I'm going to start with this. Brad was on the React, but I mean, how much did Brad actually get to talk? I mean, if it was him and Pete, I think Brad was probably just nodding his head probably for about 2 hours. Jack, you look fantastic. I'm looking forward to retweeting any information you put out in about 2 hours because the two of us are the only ones that lead the insane hours that we do. Look, we're here, right? Like we're this close, and it's been 4 months where we just started this and the coverage of this, and this was going to be the off season that none of us really got to talk about for the last 3 years. It was just so hard with not having the premium picks and all that invested into a situation that everybody who's got a moral compass wanted no part of. And now we're here. And I think for most of us, the excitement is we're just moving on past what was something that nobody really wanted. We all have accepted it. We would have appreciated it if the team was winning. Didn't happen that way. But it kind of feels like for this franchise, there's a lot of good things in place, and certainly some newer and better things need to be added. But it feels nice to not be locked in with this franchise anymore into a bad situation, and maybe we're finally going to crawl to hopefully what is a really nice bright sunlight as we go out of the Bilko doors of the basement, so to speak.
Yeah,
Man, that was a lovely way to kick this off, Jeff.
That's
a way to make an intro. That was poetic and beautiful.
It's like we do this every day, right, guys?
Jeff, don't call me Morgan Freeman Lloyd. Opening the show.
That was gorgeous. All right.
Should have saved that for my own show, right?
we should get out on a high note right now. Let's go. All right.
No.
thanks.
That's not.
Oh.
No. That's
Oh.
not the high note.
Dang it.
I know that's not the high note for Jeff. I cannot wait to get into this conversation. But we're gonna have to wait one more minute because guys, before we can talk, we got to talk about our beers. And I know not everybody drinks beers. You guys may not all be drinking. That's cool. But our buddy Doesn't Matter got us kicked off immediately in the comments. Is drinking Casamigos tequila for homemade margaritas tonight. And we're called garage beers, but garage margaritas work too. So Barry, I know you brought a drink in here because it's the rule and you don't break the rules. So what are you sipping on over there?
This is Cleveland Underground Distillery or Cleveland Whiskey Distillery. It's bourbon whiskey finished with black cherry wood, and it is very assertive. So I just got myself some bourbon. I got to live up to, my standards. And this is good stuff from the hometown.
I love
There's
it.
a couple nice distilleries in town. There really are.
Assertive.
Jack,
An
it's 2 o'clock in the
advertising
morning over there.
opportunity.
You got anything at 2 o'clock in the morning, Jack?
I've had 4 pints, so I'm holding firm at this moment here. But after all hell broke loose when I tried to explain what I was drinking last time, I've thought of a better way to describe it. So it's basically alcoholic Kool-Aid, and
Oh
that's
my God,
good
what was it
stuff.
called? What did you call it?
Alcoholic Kool-Aid,
No. The first time around, what was it?
cider. It's like a squash or a cordial.
Squash cordial. I was like,
No,
yeah, of course
you
know what that
combining
is.
the two, squash or a cordial.
That purple drink is illegal. You know that, Jack.
I've got some in the cupboard. They're not going to stop me.
Maybe not overseas, Brad. Here we are.
Yeah, I guess not. I didn't know you guys were living that way.
We're not afraid. We're not afraid of the
it's-
Royals. Brad, we know you're
They're
water
cool with it.
training over there, so you
Coke
know.
Zero, brother.
Oh, we're on to Coke Zero. Okay, no, don't careful. You don't want to lose too much weight on that. Jeff, what about you? I don't know. You got something over there?
We go simple here. We go with our
Here we
Miller Lite.
go.
We go with our Pilsners. My stomach doesn't do the IPAs. It doesn't do the heavier stuff. And plus, I just really like the taste of beer. So, Jack, I think the English theory would be what's better than one beer? Two, or even three. You drink what you like, and it gets you through your day.
I love it. Let's get you through your day. Doesn't matter whether it's 9 a.m. You drink what you like.
They frown upon that. That's the worst part about this stuff, right?
I
You
know.
know,
5
like
p.m.
you
somewhere.
can't just be cracking things open, after breakfast at 10 a.m.,
5 p.m. somewhere is always a golden rule to live by.
That's right.
Jimmy
100%.
Buffett.
All right, Chad, I know you got something over there. We got 2 more beers to announce, and then we're getting into our Browns talk. Chad, what are you drinking?
I just went with the Trader Joe's special tonight. The simpler times lager, guys.
Ooh.
That's it. Just a very simple lager. Nothing special about it. Simpler times lager.
On sale at Trader Joe's for like $3.99 for a 6-pack. You
A
can't
15 pack, just like
Yeah,
like Blatz.
I'd be at $3.99.
You can't beat it. All right, that brings it to me. And I had this last week when I was in Huntington, West Virginia. I'm home now, but I still have the beer. It's the Peddler, which is an awesome brewery down in Huntington, West Virginia. And this is called the Duddy Doy. And Jeff, you'd hate it because this is like a hazy IPA, 7% alcohol. It is delicious in the patented Garage Beers glass. And it's great. And this big crowler of beer is going to get me through what's going to be an amazing talk, because now it's time for us to get into episode 260. And we've got the OBR folks here again. As a reminder, again, if you're not subscribed to the OBR, get to the OBR.com, hit subscribe. It is well worth it. If you're not following on YouTube and Twitch or wherever you watch, make sure you do that. Make sure you follow the socials. But the OBR Draft Cave starts on Thursday night as the first round rolls around, and we finally have something other than other teams' picks to talk about in the first round. The Cleveland Browns are going to be on the clock at 2. And to be honest with you guys, until some recent conversations that we've had regarding that number 2 pick, I've kind of found the talk around the number 2 pick to be the boring part of this draft. That's, to me, it's been like, okay, well, they're going to either do this or that. And then things really heat up as the first round moves on and they approach that 33 pick in the draft. But it seems to me, and I think
I don't know. I don't know, Mike. I don't know. Mary Kay Cabot said she's starting to waffle on Shador Sanders. So it's only a week before the draft. So come on.
Listen, I'm not. I can't go there. If you don't have something nice,
Sorry.
don't say
Didn't mean
anything
to
at all.
go. Didn't mean to be out of line.
Has she ruled out Quinn Ewers yet?
I don't know. She's waffling on quarterback at 2, only 4 months after.
He's doing
the rest of the
homework on
media.
Jalen Milroe, people.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on now. She's
doing
getting
her
into it.
due diligence. Yeah.
Yes.
Due diligence. I think
I
saw a
keep
post
waiting
that's
for
like,
Chad to sing. When he pulls that mic out, I'm like, is he going to crack on some karaoke? What's going on here?
What do you want me to sing? You got any requests, Jack? Maybe God Save the Queen? I don't know.
It's the king now.
God save the queen.
Yeah, she needs more than God.
Oh, no. All right. We are so off topic. So let's run this thing around, because I know there's some big feelings about this. It seems like around the NFL world, it has narrowed down. It does not feel like quarterback is in the discussion anymore for the Cleveland Browns, which is a beautiful thing. And I know we've been talking on the OBR that it hasn't been in the discussion for a long time, but more recently, people have figured that out. And so we've talked a lot about Abdul Carter, and we've talked a lot about Travis Hunter. So here's the interesting thing, and I'll let you guys chime in on this. When you know the way Andrew Berry operates and he goes about his draft strategy, he has always been Mr. Play it close to the vest. Don't let things leak. Don't let things get out. And man, oh man, has the noise been loud, even out of Berea, about Travis Hunter, which weirds me out because it makes me think, are they trying to juke everybody out? Or are they looking for something to happen there?
What do you mean out of Berea?
I don't know that I've ever heard like Andrew Berry rave and rant about a player more than he has about Travis Hunter before the draft.
Yeah, I mean that should tell you something though. He doesn't give anything away.
I'll throw the curveball out there though that effectively they've been on the clock for a month. It's been well over a month. We have known the number one pick is locked in. So they have been on the clock. It's not one where someone is going to steal their pick. If they were picking third, I don't think we'd have heard as much from Andrew Berry, maybe praising both of them, something else. I think the fact that they have effectively been on the clock now for a month changes the dynamic with this pick. So I don't think Andrew Berry sat there as concerned. If we were picking 5, I don't think we have as clear a picture on what they're doing.
The only pushback I would give to that is that even insiders a week ago were still saying, when everybody's saying, oh, it's going to be Travis Hunter, we had insiders saying, well, this is from so-and-so GM from this team, for GM from this team, or source from this team. None of it inside the Browns. Like, they've played it. They're like, up until a week or so ago, they were like, it's a complete mystery coming out of Cleveland. We have nothing from Berea. It's sealed tight there. They are not letting anything out. But now they've gone so far as to take down the second pick in the draft from sports books. They're so sure it's going to go that way. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to interpret that.
And the other dynamic is Travis Hunter's taken 2 visits. Abdul Carter's taken 4 or 5. And that is another sign that there is a message in there. You've got Shadur Sanders taking visits to the Steelers. That gives a tell, the fact that he never bothered to go and visit the Giants. And I just assumed that would be inevitable. And it was weird for me when I looked and he was like, he's not visited the Giants. I don't know if that changed within the last week, but it's one that just felt weird that he's taken 2 and then stopped.
Yeah, it's, and this is taking Andrew at his word. I mean, I know it's smoke and mirrors season, but I mean, if he truly feels that like Travis Hunter is the Shohei Ohtani of football, why would you not draft the Shohei Ohtani of football? I mean, I get Jeff. I know your concerns. I know your concerns about it.
I just want to jump in on the Shohei Ohtani thing. Why would you say that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and look, we have no experience. Like, and look, Jack can give you everything Andrew Berry has done for 5 years, as far as if there was a linebacker available and he was 6'2", 237 pounds, all that stuff. But we've never gotten to see the Browns in this position, right? We've never gotten to see him up here, up top. So, are you trying to play a little cat and mouse, even though you don't think it's going to lead to anything? Look, Hunter and Sanders were the last pro day. And how does the pro days go? Whoever's pro day it is, all of a sudden that guy gets like put on, all of a sudden it's a rise for that guy that day. So that is something where you think about it. And I'm going to be honest, the pre-draft press conference, like the way the media handled that, did it sound like it was the pre-draft press conference? Or did it sound like hey, we just drafted Travis Hunter. Let's ask 5 million questions about him. I mean, the only thing they brought up about Carter was certainly, the injury and where it was, this, that, and the other thing. People brought up Deshaun Watson. Thanks for wasting, 90 seconds of Andrew Berry's 30 minutes of time, where people like us would have really liked to find some other things like, hey, tell us about the running back class. Tell us about the tight end class. You have 10 picks. What kind of damage are you trying to do on day 2? All of these things that are day 2 or day 3, all of these things would have been great information. But it just seemed like it was such a promenade, it's Travis Hunter at 2. And look, we'll get to it obviously, but it's, it just seemed like it was a foregone conclusion. And maybe it is, perhaps it really could be. But I just don't think when you get in this first position, and certainly a guy who loves to manipulate his assets like Andrew Berry does, where you would just be so nonchalant, hands on hips, like, yeah, this is who I'm taking it to, and I don't care if I'm telling you a month in advance. It just doesn't seem like the style they play. Could just be the way I see it. I could be wrong, but who knows?
Well, I mean, well, go ahead.
Yeah, I just think a piece of it's media driven. Travis Hunter is just a more interesting player than
Drive,
Abdul
clicks,
Carter is. He
drives, reads, right, Barry?
exactly plays both ways. Play for Deion Sanders, all that sort of stuff. So the reason that Andrew Berry is on record for saying all these positive things about Travis Hunter is because he didn't get a chance to say all these positive things about Abdul Carter. He's going to say positive things about all of these guys because he wants to make that pick look attractive as possible. There is no reason for him to sit up there and tell people who he's picking or put down a player who's available at that spot. And he didn't. He just answered the questions that were asked of him.
I think it started with he did visibly light up a little bit when he was talking about him at the combine.
Yeah.
That was before he said anything about Shohei Ohtani, but he did visibly light up when he was talking about Hunter at the combine interview. Take it for what it's worth. I don't think it means anything, but he did. And he got into all his stats and he was rattling off all this stuff and comparing them all the guys that have gone two ways, which once again could be, to your point, Jeff, could be smoke. But I will say this Travis Hunter thing only became a lock after the showcase in Colorado. It was right after that everything went Travis Hunter, which makes me think that it still could be either guy.
Yeah, I the way I was talking about the way Barry talks about him, it's like a high school girl crush. Like he's giddy when I've never seen him do it before. He's like giddy. But listen, I want to talk about feelings here for a minute because it seems to me like the majority of the conversation that gets had is, well, if they wind up with Carter at 2, I'm happy. If they wind up with Hunter at 2, I'm happy. Get one of the 2 guys, get one of the elite guys, get one of those guys in the draft, and let's move on. But Jeff Lloyd, I got to single you out here for a minute because you are one of the few people that I hear from on a regular basis, that I talk to on a regular basis, that I do not hear that from.
Well, all right. This is long, and actually, maybe this might be the dress rehearsal for Thursday night if it goes that way, right? First things first, there's he did this, and he played both ways in college. That's great. Kids, that's put to bed. He's either a wide receiver for you or he's a cornerback for you. And even saying, oh, well, he could play some corner. That is not going to substantiate that you are going to spend the number 2 overall pick. Looking around this room, I think Brad's with me, and I think Barry. I remember years ago, Reggie Bush. And what was the thing with Reggie Bush? Oh, we can return kicks, he can return punts, he can catch some passes out of the backfield, this, that, and the other thing. But it was like, where was the absolute 110% defined role? Was he a full-time running back in the NFL? And look, Reggie Bush still had a really good career. But the problem is a guy like Reggie Bush was like too early for the NFL at the time, similar to Eric Metcalf was during his time. Now, with, Hunter, well, and the same people, the same top draft analysts that say, well, he's got to play wide receiver, he's got to play it full time because he's going to develop this and he can get better. It's the number 2 overall pick. There are 0 excuses. There are 0 he can get or he needs to, or if he gets better here. Look, in a perfect world, the Cleveland Browns would be selecting a quarterback here.
Yeah, right.
And all of these last 4 months would have been just absolute nonsense. It did not work that way, that there was a quarterback viable at the number 2 overall selection. So now with Hunter, and the other thing is I feel like I'm building this back to front. The Bengals drafted Joe Burrow. 1 round later, they drafted T. Higgins. 1 year later, they drafted Jamar Chase. They built around the quarterback they had. None of us know. And even if it's Milroe, Dart, Sanders, if it goes weird and he falls, you're still building. And you don't know if Milroe, Dart, or Sanders are the answer. And we all pretty much believe that 26 could be another quarterback search of some sort. So everything is built, but it's not built around the guy, which just feels weird. Look, Judy's not going anywhere. He's here. Njoku, obviously, could be, somewhere where this changes after this year, the way his contractual status is, of course. But it seems like you have it all built, but you don't have necessarily the guy that you're building it around yet. So you're adding yet another long-term wide receiver to a quarterback you do not have yet. The other thing, he's 6'6". He's 6 feet. The 188 stop. We all kind of talk to the same people, the people I reach out to. He plays a lot closer to 180 than he plays to 190. So the 188 was a beef up to go to the pro day. And look, upper body wise, he looks good. I have chicken legs. Travis Hunter has chicken legs. Elite speed? No, he does not possess that. He is not a sub 4.3 guy. So if it was 6 feet, 188, and
On the
Mike, we
field,
talked
he
earlier
runs away
today,
from anybody. On the field, he runs away from everybody. Come on.
but runs away from everybody. But
Yeah.
that does
Yeah.
not go into line with his
And they can't
yards
touch it.
per.
Not-
But
Hold
that
on,
does
now
not
we're
go
gonna-
in line with his yards per reception average. It doesn't.
Okay. All right.
And like
Maybe
his
not his yards per reception, but his yards after
look,
catch.
in
is-
the air, above. I would say he has a better 40. I'm sorry, I would say he has a better vertical than he has 40 time. I think he plays above the rim well. He's got that type of ability to him. But when we're talking about a guy who's 6 feet tall, how does that translate going from what is, the Big 12 used to be a respectable name. It's not necessarily now. And it's where he's going now. So
I
like
watched
those are
every
all
snap of his college career, and I haven't seen him get caught from behind once.
Never. And maybe his yards.
okay, but what's the longest reception and run in his career? I mean, like we're talking like see, this is the thing where I think
Colorado
people,
did
like,
nothing but push the ball upfield, though, Joe.
No, they didn't. They ran a lot of slip screens. They ran a lot of smoke
He had-
screens. So, I mean,
He
no,
has
they
plenty of
didn't.
50,
I mean, a lot of it was
60
manufactured
yard
touches.
catches. I mean,
It's not just the yards
Yeah, a
per
lot-
catch, though. It's the yards after catch too that he is really great at.
But then why is his yards per reception so low?
it's
It
just
was
his,
92 or listen to me. It was 92 or 95 receptions this year for 1,200 and change.
it's
For
fine.
Leak Neighbors last year, same receptions, closer to 600 yards, closer to 1,600 yards. You take Roma Dunzier from last year.
It's a
The
different offense.
receptions were 111, but listen to me, these guys are all bigger. They are all stronger. They all weigh more. They all have tested speed. The last 5 wide receivers to go number 2 or number 3 overall since the year 2000, you go back to number 2, Calvin Johnson, Charles Rogers. Not an accurate measure because Charles Rogers was an absolute
It
clown.
doesn't
But
matter, though, Jeff. You can
listen
only
to me,
draft the
listen
board
to-
in front
let
of
me
you.
finish. All of these guys, and then you go to the guys at 3: Braylon Edwards, Andre Johnson, and Larry Fitzgerald. All of them possessed plus size, height, weight. Most of these guys, we all have testing numbers on. And for the guys who went to the Hall of Fame, Calvin Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, Andre Johnson, they all tested. They all ran well. What I'm getting a lot of on Travis Hunter is look at the tape. Okay, well, 50% of the tape is irregardless because the Browns have told you he's going to play wide receiver. And if you're drafting him number 2 overall, we're not going to like bebop back and forth from offense and defense. You want to make sure he hits. The appeal is not that he's going to hit as a guy that can play on both sides of the ball. The appeal
would-
is
Jeff,
that he should hit as a guy who is going to give you absolute enormous production as a wide receiver.
let me
Agreed.
Guaranteed.
Let me pause.
Is
you.
he going to be 114 and double-digit touchdowns year in, year out? Because this is the expectation for number
Yes.
2 overall if you're a wide receiver.
But let
I
me
think
pause.
You already
will.
have Judy,
Pause.
you already have Njoku, and you already have a commitment to want to run the ball more.
All right. All right.
That is
Hold on,
literally
hold
what
on,
we
hold on,
said. We've
hold on.
heard.
Hold
They
on.
want to run the ball more. They want to get back to the system that they had. So now you're going to try to accommodate with Joe Flacco, with Kenny Pickett, and whatever rookie quarterback is here, that we now need to find another guy that's going to receive 80 plus receptions a year when we already have 2.
Jeff, you say something very definitively, and I want to let other people respond to it. You say something very definitively that I don't agree with. And I want to know if anybody else is on board with this too. If you're going to draft him at 1 and make him a prime, or draft him at 2 and make him a primarily a wide receiver, whatever, a lot of what is being said there is he's a wide receiver. He's not going to go back and forth defense to offense. I don't think there's any indication. For me, I do think that he will contribute defensively, and I think he'll spend most of his time on one side of the ball. but I think he will contribute on both sides of the ball. Anybody else feeling that way?
How many
Yeah.
snaps do you think he's? Can I just ask?
Can
one-
can I-
One quick question. One quick question. How many snaps do you think he's going to see on the defensive side of the ball?
20.
A season?
No.
A,
game?
a season, a game.
Wait a minute. You want to draft a guy at number 2 overall, have him be a starting wide receiver, and expect to get an extra 20 snaps a game on the defensive side of the ball?
Yes.
The Browns have
He
extended
played
Denzel Ward.
150 in college. What
That's
are you talking
college.
about?
The pace.
Yeah.
It's not like he was playing power.
The
power-
pace is
Okay.
slow.
Right.
All right, but listen to me right now.
63
Okay, as
Can
of
I
right
just-
now,
Can anybody?
Denzel
Can
Ward
I
up-
say something? Can I say something? And then you can take it back, Jeff. All I'm saying. Here's all I'm saying. I
love you, Brad.
agree.
Go ahead.
I agree that when you draft him as a wide receiver. This is my belief, right? And I don't think that this is what the Browns think personally, because I think if you take him, you have had to sat down with. He has expectations to play both ways. He's made that clear. So if you draft him, you have had to have the conversation with him about what his role is and be comfortable with it if you're going to take him. So if they take him, they've had that conversation. I guarantee it. Part
Yeah,
B, though, I would say that's fine. I'm just saying for the Browns, my opinion personally, I would just say come in and you are a wide receiver first, foremost, and only until you are a Pro Bowl level wide receiver. That's what you are. It's a fluid situation. Once he is that, now we can start sprinkling him in. It's a fluid situation. He can get on that defensive side of the ball. He's a special athlete. We see that on the paper. Nobody else has ever played that amount of snaps in college before. So yes, can he do it? Yes. Can you have him play 50 snaps on offense and 20 on defense? That's 70 a game. People do that all the time in the NFL, Jeff. That's not that outrageous.
So let me hold on. Let's move it over to the other side. of the
Well,
screen
let me
here for a
just
little bit.
counteract real quick here.
No,
There's
wait,
players.
wait.
There's
Jeff,
players
Jeff.
association stuff. So who's going to stick around and get Travis Hunter to all the extra meetings he needs to get to? Because the Players Association is strict on how much
Dude,
time
it's
players
walking down
spend.
the hallway, Jeff. It's in the same. It's walking down the hallway from the offensive room to the defense room. What are we talking
Where's he
about?
getting He's getting the full game plan to play 20 snaps per game. The other
No,
thing is,
he doesn't have to get the full game plan. He's in a package. That's
He's
it.
in a-
That's all you need
he's
to
in
know.
a package. Well, the package is going to vary every week. There's
Okay.
Players Association. Listen to me.
But
there's
it's going to
Players
max out at
Association-
20 snaps. You're not
Okay.
going to do it the whole game.
All right. Well,
All right,
then
hold
here
on.
is
Wait,
well, okay.
wait,
But
wait.
then the next point,
Listen.
just real quick.
I'm
If
gonna
he
mute you.
becomes a Pro Bowl wide receiver, why in the world would I risk him playing the defensive side of the ball?
All right, move over. You wait. Pause.
It
Time
doesn't.
out. Pause.
It's not my choice. I would prefer to use him only as a wide receiver, Jeff.
That's
I'm just
fine.
saying
Listen to me.
what his
That is the whole
expectation
conversation, Brad. That is the whole conversation I'm having. If he is good enough that you think he's the number 2 overall player in this draft as a wide receiver, that's what you draft him for. If we were
That's
drafting,
what I am drafting him for. That's
I
what I
understand.
am. But I'm
This
just
is like
saying,
around the
What is
horn.
his
Mike
defense?
needs to mute him so he can talk.
I'm
All
just
right,
saying
I wanna
that
hear-
his
I wanna let other
expectation
voices
is
come in.
different, though. His expectation is different than that, Jeff. So you and,
Not
and,
at
and
6
if
foot,
they,
180 pounds. No, it's
You
not.
gotta stop with that.
it's
All right,
it's
Jack
not.
Duffin. Jack,
You're going to
Jack
tell
Duffin.
him what his expectation is.
We already have one cornerback on this team who is underweight and misses a lot of time because
But
of
you
injuries.
can't
and the
tell
physical-
him what his expectation is. His expectation is his expectation. You can't be like, no, that's not your expectation. His expectation is his expectation. So if that's what he expects and he's made that clear and they draft him, then they're comfortable with it. So if they
all
don't draft, and I'm not convinced they will draft him, Jeff. I'm not. I don't know. I'm I'm just saying if they do, I've watched every offensive snap he played, and he's an incredibly special athlete, and I would love for him to be on the Browns.
You two. Miller Lite and Coke Zero. Quickly. Jack, Barry, Chad, say things.
What I'm hoping happens is the Browns trade down. The Browns fans stop booing Journey. The people that really wanted Abdul Carter have a breakdown. The people that want Travis Hunter have a breakdown, and then I'm just there enjoying the draft. And then why not give me anarchy, because Journey will certainly get booed, and that will be hilarious.
I think that's great. I'm
Barry,
actually.
Does this have you excited for Draft Cave 2025?
I am stoked for Draft Day 2025. And the best thing, Brad Ward, a little bit behind the scenes, planned out all the times, everyone, and he was like, Jack, you want to be on all the time? I'm not even going to bother putting a time on you on when you're meant to be on the show, because I know if I'm not on the show, I'll fall asleep. So I better be on the show. That just is safer for everyone that way.
But coffee IV'd into his arm.
It's one that I genuinely don't see how anyone can have such a strong take about either of these two players. It's one where the entire consensus draft community has Travis Hunter rated as the best player in the draft, and Abdul Carter is either 2 or 3. Some people have Cam Ward in there. And it's one that, yes, we've seen some crazy stuff. People thought Saquon Barkley was the second best player in the draft, but that's more a debate for positional value than these are 2 of the 5 premium positions. You're just getting talent. Personally, I still believe in the trade down. And the reason why I want the trade down, and I'm only interested in trading down if you're adding a first round pick for next year.
Same.
Because unless you have a quarterback, you don't have a roster capable of winning in the AFC. If you're in the NFC, I'm willing to talk about different stuff because Jared Goff's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFC. That says everything you need to know about the NFC.
There differently, yeah.
Whereas if you need to go through Burrow, you need to go through Josh Allen, you need to go through Patrick Mahomes, that is a very, very tough scenario. So, yes, having 2 picks potentially in the top 12 next year does not guarantee you the first overall pick. You might not, but it gives you a better scope to trade up if one of those teams, usually you get 2 or 3 quarterbacks that are genuinely teams are going for at the top. So I'd be interested in that. I think they draft Travis Hunter. I'm cool with it. I don't think we see as much of him at corner in year 1. You'll see a little bit of dropped in there, but then year 2, potentially Greg Newsom's left, potentially Martin Emerson's left. You see about 2.6 or 2.7 wide receivers per snap in the Browns formation, and you see about 2.4, 2.5 corners per snap. So there's certainly an argument for that 0.7 on the offensive side, 0.4, 0.5 on the defensive side, and you make that numbers roughly work around there. So it's one that I think there's a certainly great route to him kicking ass. But that secondary position might take until year 2 until we really see it. But I'm cool with that. We're not going to win a Super Bowl in 2025. Sorry to break that to people.
Watch
Brad Ward's mate, Kenny Pickett, is not getting it done.
No, he ain't gonna get it done. Baby hands will get it done. Let me real quickly on the trade down. I agree. Like, listen, I like Carter a ton. I like Hunter a ton. I'm happy either way. The trade down becomes intriguing if there's a first involved, because you have to ask yourself with every move, where are you getting your franchise quarterback and when? Yeah. And if there's a first involved, and with next year's projected class, you have to at least have the conversation if that's in a trade down, because the asset allows you to get up and get one of these quarterbacks next year potentially. So yeah, I would just say that.
Yeah, I just Jack hit on it. You without a quarterback, you're not winning anything, especially in the AFC, right? I guess that's why I don't have super strong feelings about the draft class this year. You know, if the Browns stay at 2, whether it's Hunter, whether it's Carter, you are in the ultimate win-win situation if you're the Browns, because you are getting the consensus 1 or 2 best player in the draft. So and you have a lot of holes to fill. And, Jeff talked about build. If you're going to build and you don't have the quarterback, this is the perfect draft to do it. So if you're going to draft Travis Hunter, he's at a position of need. He's going to make an immediate impact, whether he plays however many snaps he plays at wide receiver or defensive back. If you're getting Abdul Carter, you're getting an absolute stud as a pass rusher to put opposite Miles for the next few years. You get to, everyone wants to talk about 33, which is the most intriguing pick of the draft, in my opinion, because they can go in so many different directions. You can fill so many holes in this draft in order to be able to get to that quarterback next year in 26. So I guess you're getting an incredible talent and an impact player, no matter how you look at it. I get it. And I get the concerns with both of these guys, but there's not many of them. But you're getting one of the two best players in this draft. Hell, I wish Tennessee wasn't so quarterback thirsty because it didn't need a quarterback, because I wish they could make it easier on us to whether it's Hunter or Carter, because I'm pretty sure one of those guys would be going one if Tennessee didn't need a quarterback. So it's whether it's Carter, whether it's Hunter, I don't see how any Browns fan could be unhappy with whatever we do at 2 if we stay there. But if we trade down and there's a first added to it next year, Jack, I really love that too. I know I don't want to trade down that far, but if you can trade down and get a couple more assets along with the first next year, that's even better. So the Browns are in a very, very incredible position, whether they stay at 2 or they trade down. So yeah, just give me Hunter, give me Carter, give me everybody. Just fill all the holes this year, please.
I get
Barry
the
McBride.
concerns.
Barry,
Real
hold on.
quick. Can I say
I was
something?
going to go to Barry McBride because he's been patiently waiting to
Your
speak
turn,
word.
Barry.
He's been patiently
All right.
waiting. He's been observing the tomfoolery happening on his own airwaves. Patiently
Tomfoolery.
waiting. So
I think there's a lot of erudite comments here, but I am in the camp with Chad. I'm be happy with either one of those guys. I think they're both extremely talented. I think they both fill a niche. I don't think that they're playing quarterback, so I accept all your points there. If I was making the pick personally, given my personality, which is somewhat risk averse, I like to play it safe. I'm probably picking Carter. And I'm probably picking Carter because I'm a little bit worried about Hunter being that size, playing that many snaps. And I'm also going Carter because I like the level of competition he plays, and I have an incredible Big Ten bias. I am just not fair at all. So I saw Abdul Carter play against the Ohio State Buckeyes, the national champions, and he was amazing. And that stuck with me. Now, the last point I'll make is if you don't have a great quarterback, what can you do against those other teams that have a great quarterback? Well, you kill the quarterback. And that's what Abdul Carter and Myles Garrett would do. They would cut down the time those guys have to throw. It would be a lot of fun. Philadelphia and Houston was having a lot of fun last year with their defensive lines. We'd have a lot of fun with ours in 2025. That's why I'm sort of an Abdul Carter guy.
And can I throw something out there for the group?
No.
For the people watching. Because I am good with either one too. I'm going to be very happy if they wind up with either one of those two guys. I'm going to be pissed if they don't. That's where I'm at. But I do want to say something, because every time you come out and talk about Abdul Carter, you get a million people that come out and say, oh, well, great, you're going to draft another defensive end for a team that can't score more than 15 points a game. How's that going to help them score? And I'm going to tell you how it's going to help them score, because when the other team can't score and the other team can't stay on the field, your offense keeps the ball more. I don't know why this is a hard thing to understand.
Well,
When the other team's quarterback has 1.3 seconds every drop back, your offense is going to get the ball more. And they're going to get it in better positions. And the other team's going to turn the ball over more. And you're going to score more because you have an elite defense. And so I give a lot of love to Travis Hunter because I think some of the hate is unjustified. But Abdul Carter, man, you put that dude across from Myles Garrett. You let Mike Hall grow into his role on the interior in year 2. That is going to be one of the scariest pass rushes in the entire NFL. So if they go that route, please stop with the how are they going to score points offensively, because that's exactly how they're going to. You're going to still have an elite level backfield, defensive backfield that's only going to get better because the pass rush is better, and you're going to have two elite level guys that get to the quarterback. You cannot tell me that would not be good for the team as a whole. Anyway,
And that's what everybody said about bringing Flacco back, though, right?
I
So
think
now you're going to score
making,
points because Flacco's back, right? And at least that's what everybody tried to tell us, right?
I don't believe that, but
We know.
I
Brad.
think-
we know.
I think it. I mean, I'm all for Flacco being here. That's great. It's better than Pickett. Yeah, it is. It's better than Kenny.
I give it till about
Um,
week 7 before fans turn on him.
yeah,
I think you're
easy.
a little bit early on that. I mean, a little bit late, rather. I
Yeah.
think it'll be before the leaves fall off the trees. But
Right.
yeah.
I was kind of talking
Um,
myself into seeing what Kenny Pickett could do, to be honest.
Oh God.
If you really want to fix the defense, though, the way I would look at it, don't you just pick Travis Hunter and put him at corner?
I was about to say that.
So you're
he
saying
actually-
he's
he
And then a
actually-
special package of 20
Well, he
snaps
could
on
still have
offense. Right,
20
Brad?
play- 20
Because-
Twenty
plays.
Okay.
snaps on offense.
He
And
The
then when he
actually,
gets
Cleveland
hurt,
Browns
you don't- you're
led
missing
the
wide
league in
receiver 2
pressure
and
last
cornerback,
year.
too.
So
Listen.
if you then have 2 elite corners,
Wait,
That's
Jack,
not the answer.
Jack,
Fixing the
Jack,
defense.
Jack. As far as
that's not
leading
the
the league,
answer. He's not an
the
elite
pressures
corner.
last year, 2 of those guys that help have that number of pressures are no longer with the team. Za'Darius isn't here anymore. Dalvin Thomas is in Arizona. So who's
Darius Smith's
replicating-
pressure rating was awful in the first half of the season when he was with the Browns until
I
like, the last 2
understand,
games.
but who had all
And
these
they
pressures? that's
got
still
rid
here?
of a defensive tackle and got one that got more pressure. So
Look,
that
Can I just say
doesn't
this?
stack, I'm afraid.
If
But
you dig into the
D-line's
Tomlin
already
data,
also played on 1st and 10.
if you dig into the data, the advanced analytics, Coburn, all that stuff on Hunter, he is not, and he does not profile as an elite cornerback prospect. If you're
All right.
going to pick one side of the ball, it's as a wide receiver.
It's why no, it's. I think the conversations about him being a cornerback, honestly, like we're all boys here. I think it's just overall foolish here now, because if he's going to go that high, it's going to be a wide receiver. You know, he's not 6'2". He doesn't have a Patrick Peterson build. None of those things. It's because what you think he can be as a wide receiver.
Jeff, he's not 5'8".
Could it be a Cooper Kupp? Could he give you that type of? And that's what you're thinking. You're thinking if you're drafting Hunter
No, I'm
at 2,
thinking he can be like Malik Neighbors.
he is not Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors was 30 pounds heavier. He was 10 times
He's
faster.
not 30
he
pounds
also,
heavier. Look at his
Are
side
you
by
joking
side.
me?
Look at his side by side.
Look at their combine weigh-ins.
Look at all
The numbers are right there, Brad.
Jeff, look at all
Also,
the big,
look-
heavy wide
30
receivers
pounds,
that have
dude. He
over the
weighs.
He
years.
ran a
he
four,
doesn't even-
Malik Neighbors ran a 4.35 at 30 pounds heavier.
fine.
He had a
He's
42
not 30
inch
pounds
vertical
heavier
jump.
than him. He's not 30 pounds heavier than him.
Look
All right, listen,
at
I
their
promise you
combine
guys-
weigh-ins. I'm not making these number up. They're facts.
Their
He
combined
had a
weigh-ins are
42 inch
108
vertical.
and 201. That's not 30 pounds.
108 and 201.
Or 188
That's
and
100
201.
pounds.
188 was his pro day, and notice he didn't do any working out.
Oh,
Look,
all of a
listen
sudden,
to me.
Tez
I'm
Johnson's
sorry, so
looking
it's
like
20
a real.
pounds, but also ran a 4.35 and had a 42 inch vertical jump. That's documented. Everything else on Hunter, and look, Pete's
Yeah, but
not here,
Jeff,
and he would
Jeff,
appreciate
you know,
it.
Jeff,
It's 188
thing,
and
they finished.
201, and you guys have this
forget I can
insane
do this.
theory that he had weights in his,
He's closer
in
to
his
180.
shoes,
He's
and
closer
he
to
didn't
180
work
than he is
out, and he-
188.
and he
He's
had
closer to
water
180
weight.
than he is 188.
hey Jeff, Jeff, real quick,
It doesn't
real quick.
matter.
Yes,
That-
because
listen,
I
I
gotta
got to
wrap
wrap here soon. Yes, go
Because,
ahead.
They don't have to
because
weigh
we're all-
the exact poundage to make a player comp. They can be within 10
because
pounds
we're all
of each
friends
other.
here. Jeff,
But the other
because we're
thing
all-
is, he's
Yeah.
got a 42 inch vertical on record and a
Do I mute? Should I
4.35.
hit the
Mike,
mute
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Jeff, I got to tell you, man. You may be saying a lot of right things, but everything you're talking about is nothing that has anything to do with what's happening on the field. Everything.
Well, the
you're
other
talking
no.
about-
We live
you're
in
talking
an
about
era where
combine
everything. Okay, how was their production in college?
Incredible.
How was Malik Neighbors' production in college versus
Also
Travis Hunter's?
incredible. Both good.
Was it better? Significantly better?
Do we need to start going back to guys that had incredible college careers that weren't good?
No, but the point is you try to piece it all together. You try to piece together size. You try to piece together athletic testing. You try to piece together production. You want to find the guys who fill all of those blanks.
Fine.
And
Devontae
last-
Smith
hold on.
then.
Well,
Devontae Smith then. Or Tyreek Hill. or
Devontae Smith, who tore apart
any
the
number of
SEC.
guys that weigh 180 pounds in the NFL and are successful at wide receiver. It's not 1980 anymore. You can be 180 pounds and be successful in the NFL.
All right,
Okay,
I
It's a
got,
different
can we-
league. And then secondly,
also
I will just say
take
this.
1 year
It-
wonder
real quickly,
age.
real quickly. Last point.
until the next.
I
last one.
understand that it is very easy to go because Carter makes so much sense in this defense, right?
This
It-
isn't
it-
as a pro Carter thing as
Just
it
let me
is. I
finish.
feel there's issues with Hunter.
I understand that. And then that's the point I'm making. There are a lot of people that have issues with Hunter's size. I get it. Okay. But if you watch him, you know that there's something special there. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts. There is a special, special player there. And I
Brad,
find that
but
hard for
where
anybody.
how do I grade
Can
that?
I-
How
can
do
I
I
just
put
let
that
me
into a
finish?
how do I put that into a formula? It's not height, it's not weight, it's not timed athleticism. It's
What are
hey,
you
the
talking about?
film
Have
is
you
great.
watched him play the game? Have
I
you watched him?
understand.
Film
But
is
what
the
I'm saying
ultimate
is
evaluating
film,
tool.
production, size, athletic testing, all of this has to be
6
calculated
foot,
into it.
180 pounds. There are plenty of wide receivers that are great out there that are that size and have been. Okay. Now,
And
can
they
I
have
just say-
time speed and they have special traits. Like
Oh,
all
come
we
on,
have a
man!
Hunter
You
is
watch him
film.
run away. You watch. Can you not see that
Run
he
away
has
from what,
amazing
Kansas?
agility and speed, and he's a freak athlete? You can't tell me that you
He
don't
is not a
see
freak
that.
athlete. He's not
on
a
the-
freak
oh,
athlete.
come
Stop.
on,
He's not a
man.
freak athlete. He's
That's
not a freak
insane.
athlete.
If you're gonna make that. All right. Anyways,
Oh, don't.
here's my
If
here's
you
my
wanna-
thing.
If you want to hear from Jack Duff, and
Now,
he's
here's
in
the
the
thing.
comments.
What is the proof that proves he is a
Can
freak
I just
athlete?
finish my comment? Can I just finish my comment? That's it, and I'll shut up. Okay. All I was gonna say is it's very easy to say Carter fits in the wide 9. He's a great fit there. You put him in, and he makes so much sense on this defense. You play him across from Myles Garrett. It's an easy fit. It's safe, and it works out, right?
Safe.
Sometimes the more complicated answer may be difficult to comprehend and understand at first, but sometimes the great things are a little bit more difficult to get to. And when I watch Hunter, I see a terrific, amazing, terrific football player that is truly special that I would not have a problem with being part of the team. Listen, Jeff, if it's Carter, I'm happy. If it's Hunter, I'm happy. I'm good either way. But I don't get the hate on the size for Hunter. That's it.
Chad,
What?
please.
Huh? Is it mine? Okay. Well, I mean, I want to focus on production there for a second. We said 1,250 and some change, which is pretty impressive for the amount of snaps that he did play on offense, right? Can we maybe think outside the box and think if he was a guy playing on one side of the football, right, and all of his snaps came on the offensive side of football, wouldn't it be fair to say that production would even be higher? Can we project that, or is that just not even possible?
He didn't miss very many snaps on the offensive side of the ball.
He played
That's the whole
500
thing with Hunter.
He played
played pretty much every
579
snap.
snaps. He played 579 snaps of a possible 809 snaps on the offensive side of the football.
All right, boys.
Can we draft all 3 Hunters? Then this is a point I want to make.
Like DeAndre Hunter from the
Completely
Cavs?
separate to it. No. So there's 3, and I didn't actually realize this because I
What
just
other
searched
Hunter?
Hunter in the draft thing to see, and all 3 of them I think are actually in my mock tomorrow, by pure chance. There's 3 Hunters that I like, all of them. So you got Travis Hunter, the wide receiver and DB. There's Jaquez Hunter, who I like as a running back potentially in round 6, and also in round 6 Hunter Waller, Wisconsin Badger, at safety.
Yeah.
I think he could be that nice kind of Bell replacement almost there. So crazy things have happened, but we might go 3 for 3 at Hunters. Keep an eye on
Love
that.
it.
I'm sure
What
Brad
happened to
Ward can
Mike?
find some betting line on that.
Yeah,
He had enough.
I can't.
He's done.
Well,
What
when
happened to
Mike
Mike? Mike left.
When Mike taps his desk, his mic goes mute and he has to restart himself. So he'll be back soon.
Barry,
he's
Barry,
been
what do you
needing a
think?
new system for a while.
Barry, what do you think of? I'm honestly. I know you said you're risk adverse, so you'd rather go with Carter.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I mean, like when you watch, are you like if they took Hunter, would you be willing to? Wouldn't that be kind of exciting to have like such a special player on the Browns?
Oh yeah, it would be exciting. There would be a lot of media attention. There would be all that
Not
sort of
that,
stuff.
but like,
You know,
are you excited
we
about what he
would-
could be as a player? Don't you think he could be an elite wide receiver?
I think he can be a very, very good wide receiver. When I think of taking a wide receiver at 2, and sorry if I'm old fashioned, I'm thinking Calvin Johnson, I'm thinking Larry Fitzgerald, I'm thinking Andre Johnson, I'm thinking much bigger, guys who are going to come onto the field and physically dominate. Now, the one thing I will say about Travis is that he is very good at contested catches, right? He's going to make the quarterback look better. And one of the best quarterback seasons that we've had here in Cleveland since the expansion years was Derek Anderson's in 2007. And that year, he had a couple of wide receivers who would just snatch the ball away from the cornerbacks. Travis Hunter's very good at that. I like Travis Hunter, right? But I just, because of my Big Ten bias, which I come right out in front with, I think that Abdul Carter has played against NFL-ready players, and that Travis Hunter has played against UFL-ready players. And that, to me, makes it a safer pick.
Yeah, he
So,
played against
I got-
he played against NFL talent. He played against Kansas State, Jacob
What about
Parrish,
pick
guys
23?
that are getting drafted. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
You're
not
not-
saying that the whole league is powder puff, but
there's applicable tape there against him playing against NFL corners, and so there is some applicable tape in the resume. That's all I'll say.
All right, I got, and then I'll let you guys go to bed, especially Jack. And where'd Jeff go, by the way? My microphone. Did you guys run Jeff off?
No, is he down there? No,
No,
I
I don't know
may
where
have
he is.
left.
He's going. Did you run him off? All right. Well, we ran Jeff off. That's fine. We still love Jeff, but we ran him off. I have two like quick, Brad, quick answer questions, and then I'm gonna let you guys go.
Why'd you say my name?
Have you heard yourself?
Well, I got one first, real quick. Hey, guys, what do you think about Travis Hunter?
Oh, yeah. All right. So let's work under the assumption that Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, it doesn't matter which one, is the Browns pick at number 2. Again, for me, what happens after that is where things get interesting. And so we know the next Browns pick is 33. We know they've got many picks left in the draft after that. So talk about what's next. In your opinion, what do you want to see the Browns do next? 33 comes around. We don't know. It's always very fun to go through these conversations because we do all this and we analyze like crazy. And then some idiot team like the Atlanta Falcons comes out and selects Michael Penix. And it's like, well, shit, all that's gone. And all our analysis is gone because nobody thought that was going to happen. And so that's going to happen this year. Somebody in the first round is going to take a guy where you're like, what just happened? But knowing what we kind of think this is going to look like, Browns at 33, that next pick. What do we want to see the Browns do there? What's the avenue we want to see the Browns take? Yeah, go ahead.
I think we're all going to sit there from picks 3 because there's a chance that I don't think the GM wants to pick a quarterback, but the owner is. You can't rule him out, but it's just how long you sit there and how long until sort of quarterbacks start coming off the board, and that is going to be the thing that no doubt on the live stream we're going to be sat there talking about. Is this one? Is that one? If there's a trade, is this the quarterback now? Because that's fundamentally going to change what the Browns do. Because if we get to the point where Sanders is gone, Dart's gone, Milroe's gone, then there's a lot more choices on what the Browns do. If that's not the case, they're going to sit there probably at 33 and take a quarterback. Whether that's probably Milroe, who knows? It could be Sanders. That is not out of the question. It could be Dart. So I think it's likely to be that direction. I'm guessing the Chiefs are going to take Connolly. But that's a prime pick where they could trade that. And then suddenly, yes, we miss out on the quarterback, but we then luck into hopefully a left tackle of the long term. So it's certainly going to be interesting, especially once you get past that sort of 16 range, because at any pick, the Browns could jump up to anything to get rid of that 7th rounder, which I think they can, not for the same reason Mike's, as he just wants to go to bed. The reason that 7th rounder, they want to get rid of it, and we heard it a couple of years, 2 years ago, they traded it to Baltimore Ravens. And the reason they want to get rid of that is because then in the 7th round, they can be hitting the phones and they can be talking, don't you dare, they can be talking all about getting UDFAs. You can't really be having that conversation with, hey, we really, really want you as a player. Yeah, we've got a pick, but we're not actually planning to use that on you. It makes it a lot harder to have those UDFA talks. My mock draft comes out tomorrow. My one and only So someone saying I do loads of mock drafts. I've done one mock draft, and unfortunately, it's a predictive rather than what I would do. It does have a running back in the third rounder at pick 67. I'm not
I'm
proud
sorry
of
you
it,
hate good.
but I've done it.
I'm sorry you hate good football players, Jack. I'm so sorry about.
I just hate people.
Barry.
It's not football players; it's people I hate.
Barry, maybe I'll kind of expand this question a little bit, because 33, and again, we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know who's going to be available, but maybe some names that we've done all these mock drafts, and we've extensively looked at all these players. Some names that maybe they're in round 2, round 3, just some guys that you're like, I would love to see these couple guys wind up on the Cleveland Browns.
Well, I'm from Ohio State. I make no bones about it. TreVeyon Henderson's at the top of my list. I know that there are people who hate him,
No,
but
what?
I think he does everything
Jack?
well. I'm not gonna say that one member of the OBR made a
Jameer
barfing
Gibbs,
face
right,
on Slack after I mentioned TreVeyon Henderson. It may have happened, but I love TreVeyon Henderson because he does everything well, And I've just watched him over the years. I like the fact that he didn't get a lot of tread on the tires this last year. So, I mean, that's a guy I like. Josh Connerly's a guy I like if he's available in the second round. I just think I sort of agree with you, Mike. People who are expecting Dart and Milroe and Sanders, and for us to have our pick of them, I just don't think it's going to happen. And unless you're totally in love with one of those guys and think they can become a franchise quarterback, take the best player available. To me, third round, I'd love to see TreVeyon Henderson. Second round, I'd love to see Connerly.
Yeah, for me, I mean, this answer it's a cop out, but I mean, it's board dependent. It really is at 33. I mean, I don't know. There's a bunch of names. I mean, TreVeyon's one of them for sure. Josh Connerly's one of them. I've seen a lot of mocks now, a lot of consensus that Egbuka could fall down there. I mean, if you can come away, like especially if Hunter's going to be a wide receiver, if you can come away with a wide receiver room of Judy, Egbuka, and Hunter, my God. But we need a left tackle desperately. Anybody trust DeJuan Jones? I sure as hell don't. So if Josh Connerly's there, I'd love to take him. I mean, there's so many names there, and then I mean, if somehow one of the quarterbacks slips that the Browns love, I mean, we all really think that they love Milroe. If he's there at 33, sure, is he worth the project? I think so. In that second round, and maybe even if he slips to the third round, it's so board dependent for me. What I want at 33, and there's just so many different ways they could go with so many different needs, with so many really good players there. So yeah, there's a lot of players there that I like.
It's my turn.
Go for it.
I'm super conflicted about 33, and I've talked about this for a while because there's like this understanding that the Browns are going to go quarterback, or it feels like there's like a lot of Milroe's getting mocked there. They're trading up to get a quarterback, Dart, whether it be Sanders falling down there. They like all three. So, and I think they like Milroe the best, but he's the only one I would take Sanders if he was there. I don't dislike. Here's my problem. It's not that I dislike the quarterbacks. 33 is such a super valuable pick. It should be a 2-contract starting player. And if you take a project quarterback there this year and you turn around and go after your franchise quarterback next year, then you're totally wasting the pick this year. And that's hard for me to get behind when the message from the owner is be patient, don't force it. Well, that applies at 33 as well for me, not just at 2. So unless they love Milroe and they think he is the answer, I can get behind that. And I can even get behind if they think that the guy is the answer, but they better really believe in the guy they're taking at 33 because it's a super valuable pick. Plus, it's the overnight pick, which makes it so much more intriguing because the teams will be big. The last 3 years, the 33rd pick has been traded. Teams want to come up there and get their player first thing day 2 because they've been sitting there all night looking at the best available board, right? So you could trade back and add a ton of value there too. It's just a super valuable position to be in. And if you take a project quarterback that never amounts to anything and you have to come back and get a guy next year, that sucks.
I've said it over and over again. I've talked to Jack Duffin about it. I got like 3 quarterbacks that I actually like in this draft. I think the rest of them are just mid BS, full on bullshit quarterbacks.
Come on,
I know
Tyler. Let's go, Tyler. 33.
I don't want him. I don't care. You're not going to find Tom Brady in this draft. Would you knock it off and stop acting foolish? I am perfectly fine if the Cleveland Browns don't draft a quarterback in this draft. I would rather have them take swings on other players and go find a third string quarterback out there and then take your swing at quarterback next year, rather than try to talk me into Riley Leonard or Will Howard or some BS. Because I'm sorry, Barry. I'm sorry. I know Will Howard. I know we won the national championship for Ohio State. Can we not? I don't know that I have it in me to sit there and listen to Browns fans be like, he's the future. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. No, he isn't. He's as much the future as I am. Like, that is not how this is going to go down. I'd rather just have them. If you're not going to get one of the guys, just fix the rest of the team and let's get the guy next year and figure that out. That's how I feel about it. Brad.
Sanders, Dart, Milrow, you don't like any of them?
I don't like Dart at all. I don't want Jackson Dart anywhere near this team.
How can you not like Jackson Dart?
How can I not like a guy that's never had to read through a progression one time in his entire career? How could I not? How can I not like a guy?
Again.
What's that?
You and this progression thing again. You haven't seen him look off safeties. Just not his fault because his wide receiver. Yes, he does. I've seen it a million times. Yes, he does. Just because he never. I explained this. I said he does.
No.
He will look off safeties. He will make the right throw. Does he get to the backside dig ever? No, he doesn't. But he can be taught that.
Is he any good at reading defenses pre-snap? No, he's terrible at it. He's terrible.
No,
because you can see it
wide open all year.
When a defense disguises a blitz and it comes after him, he shits himself.
The data has him as the best quarterback versus pressure in the NCAA.
Nope.
He stands in the pocket. He stays in there.
No, there's some data that says that, and then there's other data that says very much the opposite to that. So
that he's a bag of shit. Is that what you're saying?
I think that data was just pulled out of your ass. To be
I leave the Lane Kiffin alone. All right, listen, I know some of you guys got to go, but if this doesn't get you excited for the OBR Draft Cave, I don't know what does. Listen, Barry McBride. Love your face. I'm going to give you the last word, and then we're going to say bye to Jack, Brad, and Barry. You get the last word here.
I just want to thank Garage Beers for enabling my desire to drink on air. You guys have done a fantastic job with that. It is like your cause celebre, and
sorry,
I'm happy to have participated. Been a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in the Draft Cave.
Brad Ward, Jack Duffin, Barry McBride. Appreciate you guys coming into Garage.
Yes.
Love you guys.
And Jack, I'll be in the house to boo Journey. I'll be in the house to boo Journey. I'll be down at Brown Stadium to boo Journey for you, Jack.
Go for it.
I cannot wait for the scenes if they trade down. It's going to be carnage in that stadium.
Oh my god!
No, you're not
scary. Boo! We did stop believing. All right, boys. We love you guys. We'll see you this weekend.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on. All right, how about Brad, Barry, Jack, Jeff Lloyd, man? Just ballistic. That was awesome.
Hey.
Oh, well, shit. Brad just added himself back. Hey, it's your show, Brad. Come on in.
You know I had to get the last word in.
Hold on. Brad's going to wrap the show. We'll be done by 11.
Let's go.
No, I'm just kidding. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Oh, hey, you can hang out if you want to.
2025 Draft Cave all weekend long, baby. Let's do it.
Brad, if you want to talk about the Cavs, you're welcome to stay.
All right.
All right.
I'll stay for a minute. I can talk Cavs.
Right.
Well, okay, we're going to do that in a minute, but we have to do one more Browns thing first. You want to be a part of it?
I'll just be quiet and sit here.
No, you got to be a part of it because
right.
we've done like every few weeks we've done the Garage Beers mock draft.
Oh yeah, fire it up.
Yeah, and every few weeks we've gone through it, and this is our last chance to do it. And so we're going to do our very last Garage Beers mock draft. We're going to pull it up on the screen here. And yeah, we're going to go. So I've got it up. Can you guys see me moving the screen around?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All right.
10-4.
So here's the Browns at 2. Nobody has offered us a trade. Cam Ward off the board at 1. Oh, I like that we have only 3 of us here because we can vote. So what are we doing here at 2?
Mason Graham. No.
Oh my God.
Shit. Somebody speak.
Travis Hunter. I mean,
I would
yeah,
take Travis Hunter.
that's the guy I want.
We're 3 for 3 on Travis Hunter. So we're rolling with Travis Hunter. Let's see how the first round plays out and who's on the board for us at 33. I'm not going. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to go from 33 to 47.
Nope.
No.
And no,
Screw
Good.
you, Miami.
that was fun. All right, so let's look on the board here. Walter Nolan, which I don't think is going to be in consideration. Luther Burden, who could be. Josh Connerly, who obviously could be.
No. Travion.
I'd take Henderson.
Yeah.
Dude, I think he is the next Jahmyr Gibbs. The more
Oh, do you?
That's
He's
a
so
great.
fast.
That's a great comparison, Brad. I actually really love that comparison.
And Gibbs totally changed that offense single-handedly.
Yeah. I mean, Connerly is very, very tempting for me, but yeah, that Travion, you sold Gibbs. Yeah. Travion Henderson. Yeah, please.
So my vote would have been Jalen Milroe. He's one of my 3. For me, if the Browns, this is just me. I know not everybody feels this way, but if you don't get Sanders, you don't get Ward, you don't get Milroe, I don't want anybody else. I'm not interested in anybody else. So that's fine. I'm going to get outvoted, but I would have gone Milroe here. But
and I listened to that because I would bet on the kid. I like Miller a lot. Like, he's obviously a special kid, but he's a project. And I would be torn, but in this situation, if we're trying to win games this year, I'm taking Henderson.
Yeah, and if you're trying to fill the rest of the roster and get the quarterback next year, I think you got to go Henderson here.
all right, then we're going Travion Henderson. Although, Chad, I haven't stopped thinking about what you talked about earlier. Last time we did this, it was Travis Hunter and it was Emeka Ibuka, and I was like, if that came to fruition, I would
have a lot of trouble not picking Ibuka there.
We're
Yeah.
going to do this because I don't care about next year's picks because we can't use it tonight. And whoa, nope, we're rejecting all that. We could just do Quinshon Judkins here. We good with that?
Yeah, sure. Just get both of them.
All right. So we see, guys. Tell me, guys, that are standing out to you here.
Swinson is standing out to me here in this position. Makuba.
So, Makuba, I'm a huge fan of. This dude is a dog at safety, and they need one.
Yeah, an absolute ball hawk is Makuba.
Yeah.
All right. So the 3 guys that stand out to me here. Makuba, I think he is exactly the guy that Andrew Berry has been hunting for when he signed John Johnson and it didn't work out. And then he signed Juan Thornhill and it didn't work out because those guys weren't really ball hawking safeties. This dude is a turnover machine. I love Andrew Makuba. He's not the biggest, most physical tackler. He's not going to be great in the run game, but you got Grant Delpit.
Yeah,
He
right.
still hits, though. He still hits. For
He
his
does,
size.
but you got Grant Delpit.
Fearless.
This guy takes the ball away from the other team, which the Browns, by the way, were not very good at last year.
Jaden Higgins has Jeff Lloyd's size. We could take him there.
Hey, listen, I like Jaden Higgins a lot.
I like Jaden Higgins a lot too.
I like him a lot. Harold Fannin obviously always stands out to me because, again, I think the versatility is amazing. And this is one of my favorite linemen in the entire draft in Ozzie Trapilo. So, if you guys want to vote for Andrew Makuba, I'm perfectly. He's the guy I take in every mock, so I'm perfectly fine with it.
Too. I feel like I've taken him every mock too.
Yeah.
Who else
Yeah.
is there? I'm a huge fan of Kyle Williams, to be honest, at wide receiver. I think he's a diamond in the rough, dude. You watch Cam Ward film, and you can't stop watching Kyle Williams, dude. But that's too early for him too. Who else is there?
Man,
I'm scrolling now. Oh, Tyler Shook. We good with that?
Yeah, done. Okay, there's our quarterback.
You want to watch another guy underhand throw a ball to the other team? Hey, it's Tyler Shook. That's great. Let's do it.
He's dyed his
I'm
hair
good
red.
with either Fannin or Makuba.
Ooh.
Either
Where you
one.
going, Chad?
I'm gonna go Makuba here. Just one area the Browns really need to improve in is turnovers, and that guy is, like you said, is a turnover machine. So I'm going Makuba, and this is also a really deep tight end class. So I'm going Makuba here.
I know it hurts me to see Fannin go, but yeah, 100%.
Plus, do you want another guy that's very versatile? You don't really doesn't have a defined position in Fannin.
Right.
I do. But in that situation, I'm taking Makuba.
World's fastest Bowman. The thing with Bowman is I just don't think he's I see him more of a hybrid slot guy and less of a center fielder.
Yeah.
I like him a ton in my secondary, but I don't know if he can do what Makuba can do.
Would I really think about this trade?
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
What is it,
Unless somebody was on the board that I really wanted.
Here's the problem: is they have that massive gap between
104.
104 and 179 or something.
Right.
And there's a lot of value in there. So
Should we do this trade?
yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, why not?
Let's do it. I agree with that. Oh man, we missed out on Shook. All right, let's not get ridiculous. Although I would love to go from 255 to 152. But let's just be done with trades. Okay, so we got back-to-back pick here, boys. 103 and 104.
Norman Lott. I think he's great in this spot.
Yeah,
Very much like Charles Grant here out of William and Mary.
Charles Grant is a guy that the Browns like too.
Yeah.
A lot.
And you need to address that offensive line.
We're scrolling. We're looking.
So, just for the point of mentioning it, if you hadn't taken a running back at this point, that Tootin kid, Bayshonell or I don't know. I mean,
Bashal Tootin.
Bechamel.
Bashal Tootin. What'd you say?
Bechamel. It's a
You're so
delicious
dumb.
sauce that goes on.
Yeah.
You are so dumb.
delicious. No, Tootin is a savage value pick at running
Yeah,
back. He's one of my
100%.
favorites, dude. He is
I
so
think-
fast.
I think he's good, but this dude I love. Damian Martinez, I love.
Yeah,
I think that guy is built to be a day one NFL running back.
there's like 30 plus draftable running backs in this draft.
Right. Yeah,
Correct.
that's why I'm never concerned. I'm not concerned about running back at all, even if they pass on Henderson. Like there's guys that can start for your team all the way in the 5th round at least.
You want to get an edge in Jack Sawyer here?
Ooh.
I think Jack Sawyer's wildly underrated.
Really?
Yeah, listen, he's not a 2nd round guy, but there's something about him that he makes plays.
But he didn't make plays till his senior year. I think that's why he's not there.
When he doesn't get a sack, he gets his hand on the football. Like he's that kind of guy. He makes plays. But I don't know who we're thinking here. We're down in the 4th round now.
Yeah, my vote here is for either Norman Lott or Charles Grant. Well, at least this first one.
I would listen to Ty Robinson, although it feels a bit rich here too.
Yeah.
I think Norman Lott I would rather have over Ty Robinson. So either one, Grant or Lott.
Yeah, well, listen, we have back-to-back picks, so do we just do Grant and Lott?
Fire it up.
Done. Let's go.
All right, Norman Lott, Charles Grant, you are Cleveland Browns. And now we wait.
You
Whoa.
got better on both sides of the line of scrimmage real fast.
And we did that with our first pick in the draft, too, with Travis Hunter, but don't tell Jeff that. We're not accepting any more trades.
Screw you, Denver.
All right, so let's just real quick look at what we have done. Travis Hunter, Travion Henderson, and oh god, I love the beginning of this draft. That
Right.
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Norman Lott, Charles Grant. So now here we are. We sit at pick 167.
Can I sell you on Riley Leonard?
No, you can't.
So
Well,
So if you like an edge, Power Island is nice value edge.
I
Right.
agree with that.
Yes. Completely agree. Ooh.
Yeah. Are you looking what I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Who you got?
Listen, if I'm going to get a late round quarterback, this is the guy that
That's
I feel
the guy
like
you want. Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
he could turn into something.
I like Kyle McCord a lot. Did you watch his special with
His Gruden QB class.
his Gruden QB class? Dude, he killed it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna make my vote here. I'm gonna vote for Kyle McCord.
Go.
Again, I know he's not in my group, but like
He's one of my guys.
If he's
take him.
worth a late round project, he's worth a late round project. Let's go.
yeah, I think he is.
Take him.
I'd rather take him here than a project at 33 where you could get a starter.
All right. Are we good with Kyle McCord here?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Kyle McCord, he can come, sit on the bench, learn from Joe Flacco, and see what happens. Riley Leonard here. Are we
Can
good
I
with
sell
that?
you on Riley Leonard?
Yeah, right. All right.
Do I really have an echo, Gregory, or are you saying I have an echo because I repeated myself?
Probably that. Uh-oh. Philly said he wants to fight.
Philly.
Where?
No.
Where do we
What
lose you?
is it? Is it just because of Kyle McCord?
Oh, get over that Michigan interception, Philly.
Oh God. I don't know if I'm over it. All right, so let's go through these picks and let's speed up here towards the end of this draft because we still have 4 or 5 more picks. So start looking and throwing out names.
Ooh, Majors. I like Majors. I like Peebles. Mitchell Evans at tight end. That could be a good pick at this slot.
Oh, God, I wish this guy wasn't a scumbag. But let's not do sexual assault charges anymore, please.
Yeah, that's probably not good.
No more.
I'll tell you what, I really like this kid out of Cincinnati.
Okay. All right.
Luke Andra as interior offensive lineman, but he's a mauler and he's multifaceted. He's an awesome run blocker, and he's really good in the pass game. Like that guy is.
I mean, if you're going to take offensive line depth, round 6 is the way is the time
Yeah.
to do it.
I'm sold.
Are we feeling good about that?
Yeah, let's go draft him.
Oh, I love that. Well, that made me feel good. I like that guy.
Can I sell you on Riley Leonard?
So
Mitchell Evans is still there. I mean, it's a
yeah, you could take we didn't take a tight end. If you want to take Evans, it's fine. He's a little bit of a project. He's kind of bulky, but he'll get the job done. They need a guy.
So can we pause real quick here?
Yeah,
And
love
can we
these.
talk about do we get to a point in this draft around 5, 6, 7? I think it is okay for us to discuss the new kickoff rules and how important special teams is going to be more so than ever.
You really think so?
I do. Yeah. The fact that a touchback now is coming out to the 35-yard line, you're going to have to cover kicks because you're not going to want to kick touchbacks.
I guess. Did it make any difference last year?
But it was different last year. It was a different rule.
No. What is it? 5 yards different now?
No, it's 15 yards different.
What?
Yeah. It's coming out to the 35 now.
Yeah, it was the 30 last year, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was still the 20 last year.
No.
Am I losing my mind? Maybe I could.
Really says. They made 25 to 35.
Was it 25 to 35? Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a big difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference, but when you're talking about giving up a big play, I think you just kick it out of the back of the end zone still.
All right, fair. All right, who are we seeing here? Are we saying Mitchell Evans? We going to go tight end?
Yeah, why not?
Give yourself a project. I'm good
Sure.
with that. All right, we got
Body
3
and
left.
just give me somebody with a pulse in that room at this
Yeah.
point.
Jarquez Hunter be a good special teams player.
Yeah, dude, all these running backs are good in a different way.
Right.
I like Jordan James a lot. I don't know if he's still there.
I mean, Jarquez Hunter is a
He's special.
standout player in the SEC.
Yep, fire it up.
Are we going to? We're going 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah, why not? 2
Oh,
running
I'm
backs?
sorry, 2
Yes.
running
Yes.
running backs. 2 running
Yes.
backs.
Yeah, you should
All
be
right.
taking 2 running backs in this draft, especially with 6th and 7th round picks.
All right. We're at
This-
260. Hey, Chad, say it. Say it, please.
Nope, not going to do it.
Can you
Hey.
interest us in Riley Leonard?
Hey, Carson Vincent. More offensive line depth. Why not?
What?
Yeah.
Mm.
Is sometimes there's some weirdly talented wide receivers that end up down here.
Yes. Well, I've got my favorite player in the draft, but he's not going to be until the next pick.
The kid from Tennessee is always left at the end of these things. I don't see him here though. He's
I
like
mean,
6'4" and ran like a 4.4 40. Somehow he ended up down there.
Thornton, isn't his last name? Thornton.
oh, maybe. Yeah.
That's it. Thornton Jr. Dante Thornton Jr.
That's
Oh,
it.
wait. It's Waxter.
Oh, okay.
How about this guy in the Slack channel today? Should we just draft him?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
All right. I'm taking Waxter. All right. Let me
That's
sell
how
you.
you-
Let me sell you guys on my favorite player in this draft.
Yeah, Philly's right. Andrew Armstrong is like same thing too.
Aw. We can't get our quarterback out of Notre Dame.
Oh, son of a
Bummer. Oh my God! Did my guy get selected? He must have. Oh,
This is the place for a linebacker too. Late here.
actually, okay. This dude is my boy right here. Go research Efton Chisholm III.
No, yeah, I'll listen to that. I've seen him.
My dude this guy is a stud. Eastern Washington, small school, but hyper productive. And
Charlie Chuck says the kickoff was the 30 last year. I thought so.
I didn't think it was, but maybe I'm losing my mind. I'm not going to sit here and argue about it because no, kickoff was the 30 last year. The touchback was the 20. Yes, thank you.
No. He's
Yes.
saying touchback was not 20.
I think it was.
I'll look it up.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I love Efton Chisholm. If you're going to look for extra wide receiver depth and a player that could potentially come out of the end of the 7th round and actually like make noise, I think this guy is just that level of talent. And I think he's not higher on this list because he went to Eastern Washington and he did have a little bit of an injury issue, but like he overcame it and like holy hell did he come up with big time numbers. However, if you guys do think this is the time to look at wide receiver, you can do that here. If you want to look at linebackers, here are the guys you can look at. I love Nick Martin. I think is wildly underrated.
And we do need linebacker depth as well. 7th round, just pick him.
Who do you guys want? You tell me.
Can I clarify the kickoff rules from last year?
You can.
Yeah. So the rules last year, and this is why there's discrepancy in the chat. If the ball landed in the landing zone, remember these rules. If it
Oh,
landed
that's right.
in the landing zone and then went out the back of the end zone or was a touchback, it was awarded at the 20. If you just kick it out of the back of the end zone, it was awarded at the 30.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. Now it's the 35.
Correct. I still think you're going to see a lot more returns this year, but
Fire it up.
all right. Tell me what to do here, and let's finish this draft.
Nick Martin.
Yeah. That's the pick.
There it is.
That's my guy.
There's your Cleveland Browns draft right there. Travis
that.
Hunter, Deion Henderson, Andrew Makuba, Omar Norman Lott, Charles Grant, Kyle McCord, Luke Kandra, Mitchell Evans, Jarquez Hunter, Isas Waxter. Again, I've never heard of this guy until earlier today, but we took him. And then Nick.
Sure.
That
really like
is
it.
sexy.
I really like this first 3 right here. Guys that can come in and make immediate impacts.
Right.
I like the potential out of the offensive line here. I don't think you'll ever see Mitchell Evans ever again. I don't know about these guys here. I think Jarquez Hunter can make it. I like this. I think that's a good. Listen,
Dude,
in any given
how much
draft,
better would the offense be with those first 3 picks? And then Flacco gets hurt and McCord comes in and they go win a Super Bowl.
Unbelievable. Be unreal.
You're losing. It's Kenny Pickett, baby. Pickett season.
Oh, stop it.
Pickett season. All right, we're gonna stop presenting that. That's the draft. Brad, we're gonna let you go to bed. You've been literally on the air since like 7 o'clock.
Well, you know how I am. I had to get my last word in after everybody left, and then I
Had to get dropped back.
All right, give us your last word and then get the hell out of here.
No, my last word is draft cave, baby. Let's see it all weekend. We'll be here for you. Every single pick. Hit like
Wow.
and subscribe. Thanks, Chad and Mike, for letting me share the airwaves with you. It's always an honor. Have a
Oh,
wonderful
come on
evening.
now.
I'm out of here.
Love your face, Brad. Love your face. We'll see you
Thanks,
this
Brad.
weekend. See you, buddy. Brad Ward. Again, big shout out to all the. I reached out to the OBR guys and said, listen, we got the draft cave coming. I want to promote it. I want to show people it's going to be fun, that we're going to have good, fun conversations, but also be informative. So come on with Garage Beers with us tonight, and let's get hyped up. And these guys, how about Jack Duffin coming on at 2 a.m? Barry goes to bed at like 8.
Oh my God.
So he stayed up. Brad, Jeff, man, the arguments and if you thought Brad Ward was mad when they selected Dorian Thompson-Robinson a couple years ago, wait until Travis Hunter's the pick at number 2, and you get to watch Jeff Lloyd react live. It's going to be a blast.
Boom.
Just a huge shout out to all of our buddies at the OBR. And you're going to see even more people that cover the Browns from the OBR this weekend on the Draft Cave. Chad, you got about 20 minutes left in you?
Sure.
I got about 20 minutes left in me, but there's other stuff I want to talk about.
Okay.
So I think we're going to skip, and maybe it's primarily, I'll let you make a decision here. I don't have an asshole of the week this week because, frankly, I haven't paid attention. I paid zero attention who's been an asshole this week.
Okay.
So if you got a good one, lay it on us right now.
I've got a great asshole. No,
Ugh.
oh God. I'll think of it. I had one that I thought of, but if I think of it, I'll drop it in. But we can move on.
Yeah, let's move on. And let's move on to, we're just going to do a couple quick segments on, we've just spent an hour and a half more on the Browns, but there's a lot of stuff going on in our city here that I want to just touch on real quick. And I think we got to start with the NBA playoffs have started.
Mm-hmm.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers, they've only played one game. I've got to get back into the mental state of what the NBA playoffs is like, because you play a game and then it's like 4 days and it feels like a month. But the Cleveland Cavaliers, in my opinion, made me feel great after game 1 against the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat are a difficult opponent.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they do have size on the inside, and Bam Adebayo is still an all-star level caliber player. And then they've got just like snipers on the outside. Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, and these guys can shoot the ball. They are not of the class of the Cavaliers, but I was a little concerned that maybe game 1, after the Cavaliers had a full week off, maybe it would be a little bit difficult. And then the Cavaliers come out and win by 21 points.
Yeah.
And how do they win by 21 points? Well, for the majority of the game in game 1, they're up by double digits. The majority of the game, they're up by around 10. And there'd be times where Miami would cut it down to like 6, and then there'd be times where the Cavs would get it up to like 16, but it was really like hanging around 10. And then the fourth quarter comes around, and I love OG Philly's comment here. I love how the national media is just now figuring out who Ty Jerome is. Ty Jerome does not get selected. Now, he's still going to be a really good option for like the comeback player of the year or whatever it is, because he really didn't play at all last year.
Right.
But he loses to the stupid idiot. Maybe that's my asshole of the week. That idiot from Boston that everybody just loves.
Yes, I have an asshole of the week, by the way. Go ahead.
For 6th man of the year. So Ty Jerome or DeAndre Hunter, both of which could have been 6th man of the year. Neither one of them get it. But how about Ty Jerome? In a game where Darius Garland plays great and Donovan Mitchell plays great, Ty Jerome comes out and puts up almost 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Right.
To just decimate the Miami Heat in game 1. and the Cavaliers are off to a 1-0 series lead, and it makes me feel like my original philosophy on this series was correct, Chad. I don't think this is going to be a long series.
No, it's not. No, it's not going to be a long series, but Miami does have the horses to make games interesting. Like, I don't think it's, the Cavs, you might see the Cavs win by 10 to 15 points every one of these games, every victory that they have. But it's within the game, it's not going to feel that way, I don't think, because like you said, I mean, between Hero and Robinson, they have guys, the Miami Heat have guys who can fill it up and go on mini runs, right? So, but I don't think that's going to be enough to be able to, push this series out to, 6-7 games. So I think I think this is going to be a quick series, but I think it's going to be at least an entertaining series.
Oh, an entertaining. So I called it before the series, and this is still what I think. I think we're looking at a gentleman sweep. I know Philly's in the comments talking about a sweep. I think that's very much in the realm of possibility. But I think we may be looking at a gentleman sweep here. I think the Cavaliers will get both games in Cleveland. Yeah. Miami might get a game on the road.
Right.
Miami might get – listen, Miami's not the hardest place to play in the NBA. But
no, it's not.
They might get a game on the road just because, again, they do have the horses. And listen, if Miami has a night where they shoot the ball really well, it's going to be hard to beat them. But you saw just in the style of the way these two teams play – I will tell you, if the Cavaliers play defense the way that they did with the intensity that they did in game one against Miami, it probably will be a sweep.
Yeah, right.
I mean, They were everywhere defensively. They had one or two little lapses here or there. But for the most part, the Cavaliers defensively were in the jerseys of Miami all night long. And that is that's the game changer for the Cavaliers. They can score with anybody.
Yeah,
they're one of the best offenses in the NBA, not just this year, but in many years. But when they lock down deep, when you see the effort out of guys like Sam Merrill defensively that you saw in game one,
yeah,
you're not going to beat him.
No,
you're not going to beat him.
Nope.
So. Cavaliers game one. I'm going to still call a gentleman's sweep, but I do think the Cavaliers are going to pretty easily move on from this series. And it was great to see Donovan Mitchell, who kind of sputtered a little bit over the last month of the season, get back into form.
Yeah, maybe he was just
saving it. And listen, Evan Mobley played kind of a bad game.
Right.
And they won by 21. And DeAndre Hunter was terrible in the game, and they won by 21. And it just shows you, like, a lot of people were really wondering about the rotations that Kenny Atkinson would roll with. And I think Kenny Atkinson's just going to roll with the rotations that got him just 64 wins this year.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? There's no reason to change anything.
100%. Okay, Chad. Otherwise, just real quick, elsewhere, I don't know if you've paid any attention at all to the NBA playoffs.
No. The NHL playoffs are on, so no.
All right, that's fair. That's our thing. That's our thing. I'm the NBA guy. You're the NHL guy.
Exactly.
But
I mean, I paid attention to the scores. Like I did. Like I looked at the scores. I know who won and who lost, but I did not watch the games. No.
Yeah, I think just really quickly, a couple interesting things. I think this. I thought the Pacers and the Bucks series would be good.
Okay,
but man, the Pacers pretty convincingly took the first two games.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the Minnesota Timberwolves went in and punched the Lakers in the mouth. Game one, right. That was beautiful. I'm just giving you highlights. The Oklahoma City Thunder are. I hate to say this as a Cavs fan, but the Oklahoma City Thunder are the favorites to win the title. Like,
yeah, yes,
they won again tonight by a lot.
Yeah,
and I don't, it's just Memphis, but like, oh my God. And then, the other game, I'm really, the Cavaliers are on tomorrow night, pretty much at the same time as the Celtics and the Magic. I'm very interested to see that. I really want the Magic to do that physical beat up the Celtics thing that they did to the Cavs last year, but game one didn't get me real excited for that.
That's okay.
And
They can
that
lose
makes
every
me
game by
sad.
40 as long as they just clothesline Tatum and Brown and that's all we're expecting. I mean, everybody knows Boston's going to win the series, but I think it'd be fair to say that a lot of people don't think Boston's going to come out of this thing unfazed, like not battered or bruised.
Like what the Cavs did last year.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what we're looking for. So Orlando,
Do
that.
thing. Do
do
thing.
that. NBA playoffs off to a start. NHL playoffs have been great
Yeah.
so far. I actually haven't seen a ton.
Yeah.
Only because I just, and I do this with my Cleveland team sometimes too, man. I was so invested in the end of that Blue Jackets season
For sure.
that I need a break for a minute
Sure. I got you.
because they were there. They were there.
They were right there.
Carolina pulled. You know what Carolina did? Carolina pulled a goddamn 2007 Indianapolis Colts Jim Sorgi on us.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure
They
did.
sat all their good players. They let Montreal win the game, and the Blue Jackets just couldn't do anything about it.
They
We got Sorgi. The Blue Jackets got Sorgied.
The Blue Jackets got Sorgi. I tell you what, when they made it 1-1, I was like, okay. I mean, Montreal really wasn't. They were getting some good opportunities, but Carolina was holding strong. The Chicago Wolves were holding strong, but unfortunately, Jack Roslovic and our old buddies and Eric Robinson couldn't get it done. Which
Sorgied.
sucks.
Sorgied.
Big old Sorgi.
We got a big old Sorgi.
Big old Sorgi. But no, there's so much to look forward to in the future with the Blue Jackets. I cannot wait for next season.
Oh, 100%. 1,000%.
Yeah.
All right, last thing. Chad.
Oh, hey, asshole of the week real quick, by the way. College Football Playoff Committee. How the fuck do you not have games on the weekends, dicks? Every game during the weekday. What's the matter with you?
Dicks.
Anyway. Yeah. What the hell?
Big
What the hell's the
jerks.
What the hell's the matter with you? Okay, anyway, what do we got?
I'll never understand. Monday night championship
Yeah.
game. What are we doing?
Yeah, let's go Thursday, 7:00, and make everybody. No, what are we doing? I hate you. I hate you.
It's cool. I have to work tomorrow. It's fine. I'll just
No
drink
big
27
deal.
beers and then wake up early.
Yeah.
All right, last thing I want to talk about real quick, because now the sample size continues to get a little bit larger. But from last week, Chad, to this week, Chad,
Uh-huh.
I'm feeling pretty good about the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay.
Do you know why I'm feeling pretty good about the Cleveland Guardians?
Why?
Chad, did you know that the Cleveland Guardians have the best record in the American League?
No. Wow. Wait, what? Oh, now they do.
Yes,
Now they do.
they do.
Yeah, now they do. It was the
The-
Yankees beforehand.
What do you mean now they do? Who cares that it's now? Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
What- when else would I be
tonight,
talking
they do.
about?
With the win tonight, they do, right? Because they won tonight, right?
Chad, yes, that's how things work. When they
Nice.
win and they go to the top, that's how it. I don't know why we have to explain this to you.
Well, they had to win tonight to do that, Mike. They didn't have it beforehand.
Chad, they did win tonight, you asshole. So
No,
that's
I
how it
know.
works.
You son of a bitch.
All right, my asshole of the week is Chad for
Yeah.
apparently.
My asshole of the week is you fucking.
I almost made a political joke about you, but we don't do that here. So
Oh, God.
I just was. I'm not going to do it. No, I feel pretty good about the Cleveland Guardians right now. There's things that scare me.
Sure. The bullpen? Yeah, absolutely. The bullpen,
But-
Jeff Junis, Paul Sewald, you have been terrible so far. But I don't know. It's still young, still early.
Chad,
What?
there have been downsides to this baseball team.
Yeah.
Legitimate. The defense hasn't been good. The bullpen has not been great.
Right.
But they even though they're not playing kind of the way we expect them to,
Yeah.
they've got the best record in the American League at this point.
Which is crazy to think about, considering some of the way they've played in those losing series, in those series they lost.
Correct. Now, listen, I think this Yankee series has me feeling a very different way, because a lot of the series they have kind of dominated have been against real shitty baseball teams.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Chicago and apparently Kansas City is real shitty. And
Right.
it's been a lot of that. But when they've gone up against Baltimore and San Diego and teams like that, they've gotten their asses kicked.
Right.
The series against the Yankees, though, and the fact that at home they're 7-1, like there is a very real home field advantage forming for the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
They're 7-1 at home, and I think the starting pitching has got me very excited.
Sure.
And it's-
Really? Wait. What? Yes. Well, Luis Ortiz has gotten better since that San Diego series.
Luis Ortiz has me very excited. Logan Allen has me ready to jump through a wall. This dude has been amazing.
Yeah, he's been great. Gavin Williams
has been much better lately.
He's been up and down. He had a bad
But he's
start
been-
last time, but he's been up and down.
No, Gavin's last start was good. Gavin started, was it yesterday?
No, yesterday. I'm sorry. The start before this last one, he was bad.
Yeah, fair.
But
Like, you even think about a guy like Bibee today. Bibee gives up a leadoff homer. They were down 2-0, and then he just locked it down.
yeah, for sure.
He just locked it down. I feel good about that. I feel good about they're going to have to figure things out with the bullpen. But, like, man, Cade Smith is still unhittable. Hunter Gaddis is still really good.
Yeah.
And I am still a big believer in Emmanuel Clase. I think the fact that people are just ready to give up on this dude, something is obviously wrong with him right now.
Sure. Right.
And it's the fact that he can't stop throwing pitches right down the middle of the plate.
Well, it's because he's not hitting his spots, so he's just trying to throw meatballs into the zone.
Correct.
So,
But I believe Clase is still your closer. He is still going to be your closer.
sure. And if he's not, Hunter Gaddis or Cade Smith can be.
But then you look around and you're like, okay, Kwan is good. Ramirez is good. Man, Gabriel Arias and Angel Martinez, and Kyle Manzardo, and you're
Guys
getting
they
production.
needed to be good this year after all the bullshit that they pulled this offseason.
And I'm looking at the other guys going, okay, there's some guys that haven't come around yet. Like Nolan Jones is hitting the ball hard every time. Nolan Jones is squaring up the baseball. He's just not elevating it. When he starts elevating the baseball, things are going to happen for him. Lane Thomas has been hurt since opening day. So I don't know. I feel like we're off to a very promising start for the Guardians. Obviously, they've got the best record in the American League. So that's promising in and of itself. But it feels like, after last year, it feels like it's been a little bit of a struggle this year.
Yeah.
When the reality is, I think when you step back and look at it, you go, they've constructed their roster in a way that, yeah, maybe the bullpen isn't going to be like generational like last year's was, but it's still really good. Maybe their starting pitching isn't going to be like Corey Kluber and Shane Bieber and
Ooh, by the way, you're getting back later this year.
correct. Like maybe it's not like the greatest starting pitching of all time, but it's still absolutely keeping you in baseball games, even when they're not pitching well for the most part. And offensively, they're just finding ways to score runs.
Sure.
This Guardians team feels a lot like last year's team.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, for sure. In some ways. Yeah.
I think
Again, you know me. I'm not going to get too high or too low on this team in April. I'm just not. It's not going to happen. But I do like some of the things that are going on right now.
Well, I picked them to win 90 games this year.
Yeah.
I still feel good about that.
They continue on this trajectory, sure.
And
Absolutely.
I still feel good about, and they did it last year with Lane Thomas. And remember, Lane Thomas sucked the first couple of weeks he was with the Guardians, but then he was unbelievable.
Right.
The Guardians are so good at making the right move at the deadline to improve the team that I feel like the Guardians are going to be that team that's on pace for 90 wins this year, and then they'll make the move that gets them 95.
Sure. Yeah. Very possible.
The trajectory I think they're on.
Very, very possible.
All right. Chad, almost 11 o'clock, almost 2 hours into the show. Let's do our cheers of the week and let's let everybody go to bed. Chad, it took you a minute to think of your asshole of the week. You got your cheer of the week?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. My neighbor. just behind here. Dave Yamani text me today, said, "Hey, Chad, I got 4 tickets to the draft party and the Journey concert on Thursday. You and the wife want to go?" I said, "Uh-huh." And yeah, I'm gonna go. So cheers to him for allowing me to experience something like that. Let's go. I've never been to a draft party like Browns draft party before, so let's go. I'm in.
Yeah. It should be fun.
I think so.
I mean,
I've never seen Journey before. I'm
Oh,
excited.
they're great. I don't remember the guy's name that is their lead singer now, but he's
Yeah.
great. And yeah, it's
I
great.
just can't help but think of basketball. Steve Perry.
I love going to concerts where you don't realize it, but you're gonna know every word to every song.
I'm sure I will.
That's how it was. That's how it was when I saw Journey. It was like I didn't even realize it, but literally every song they played, I was like, oh, I know every freaking word. So.
Oh yeah. There's movies like when I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen movie, I was like, wow, apparently I'm a huge Queen fan because I know all of the songs.
Right.
Yeah.
I just know Chad. Hopefully they broadcast parts of this because I know if they find Chad Meyer, you're going to see a close up of him, tears streaming down his face, just belting Open Arms to everybody.
You make me weak. I want to die. Yeah.
They're just-
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's Love and Touch and Squeezing. That's a different song.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's any Journey song, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's all Journey songs.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna push my wife away and just dance myself.
I got 2 cheers. I love witnessing history, right? I love
Sure.
things that are just that transcend what they are, and so I'm just going to cheers like history. We got the situation. The Pope has passed away, and just watching just such a traditional process go on is just, it's always awe-inspiring for me. So I'm going to cheers that. And then on a very different note,
Did you just cheers the Pope dying? Is that what I just said?
well, maybe I'll cheers the Pope.
All right.
A life well lived.
Okay.
A life well lived. Let me just switch it up on you real quick. I'm going to
Okay.
hit you with the biggest switch up of the entire show.
Oh God.
My other cheers. I love WrestleMania, man.
Okay. All right.
I love that weekend. My son gets all into it.
Yeah, for sure.
All I do is just sit there and laugh because he's like singing all the songs and going crazy, and like it's just so entertaining, and it's such a production. And yeah, I love it. Man, I had a great time.
Okay.
The 2 nights WrestleMania this weekend it was a blast.
Yeah.
And I'm cheersing the fact, you know what I'm cheersing? I'm cheersing the fact that now that like the professional wrestling thing is like, yeah, of course it's fake.
Right.
Stop being dicks about it. Of course it's fake. If it wasn't fake, these guys would be dead.
Right.
And it's just there for your entertainment. I think it's just better that way. It's just better.
No.
Nobody's trying to hide anything. Nobody's trying to act like something stupid is happening. It's just like, yeah.
Right.
I watch wrestling the way I watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same thing. It's entertainment. It's fun. But man, WrestleMania was a good time. So I'm just cheersing
for
that.
sure. Yeah, there was a time where it still gets me every now and then. It's not that I think it's like real by any means, but it still gets me invested in that like Rhea Ripley, the triple threat match there.
Yeah.
It,
So good.
it gets me in the sense that like I don't know who they picked to win. I don't know who they wrote in to win
Right.
that match. So I was like, oh, come on! Like I didn't know. It got me. That match got me. But yeah, no, I totally know what you mean, dude.
It was great. Had a great weekend. My son and I watched every minute of it, and a good bonding father and son time. It was great.
For sure.
So that's my cheers. All right. Listen, we've been going 2 hours, and we are going to stop. So a couple quick shout outs before we get out of here. One, the OBR. For hosting us and being the host of the Garage Beers podcast here on the OBR. Again, the OBR is the best place for Cleveland Browns coverage in all of Cleveland. and they allow us to come on and talk about the Cavs and the Guardians and the Blue Jackets and wrestling and whatever the hell we want to talk about, and the Browns as well. We love the OBR for hosting us and for everything they do, but also for tonight, our special guests, Jeff Lloyd, Brad Ward, Jack Duffin, Barry McBride, the founder of the OBR. We had all of them on. We had a great Browns conversation. And again, the point of that was to get you excited for the Draft Cave. It happens Thursday, 7 p.m. We will be live talking about all things NFL Draft. We'll bring you all the picks. We'll get you analysis on everything the Browns do. And frankly, if you watch the show tonight, what you'll find is we're just going to have a good time. We're just going to have a real good time arguing, yelling at each other, agreeing with each other, talking about the Cleveland Browns. So make sure you are tuned in to the Draft Cave all weekend long throughout the NFL Draft as we have finally made it. So big shout out to the OBR and our special guests tonight, our OBR brothers. And our last shout out goes out to all of you, everybody that joined us live here tonight. There was a lot of you, or everybody that checked us out. Either you're watching us later on YouTube or Twitch, or you're listening to us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Big shout out to you for supporting us. We love you. We thank you. And we do everything we do because you guys enjoy it. So we really appreciate you. That's going to do it for episode 260 of the Garage Beers podcast. For Joey, who is still driving to Seattle, he wasn't here, but go follow him at Garage Beers Joe. For Chad at Garage Beers Chad, I am Michael Keefe at Garage Beers Mike. Go follow the show at The Garage Beers on all the socials, and we will see you next week for episode 261. Until then, cheers, everybody.